All right, yeah, I'm going to quickly go over the market and go over a lesson. So stick around. All right, 1 second. Again, with the ES, basically breakout, test of the breakout, and that's why you had somewhat of a reaction, but I thought it was going to go, spring and go a little bit lower and then blast off. So we'll see if that's what happens, because it's a very shallow dip, and the tech components are not participating. You can tell right here, off of this high, breakout, test, and the S is going to hold, but look at the range, it's pretty poor. The bonds, of course, breakout, follow through, still waiting for that pullback, probably springing up below here. 4% in 6 days, 7% in 7 days, etc. Bitcoin, no comment. Right? The dollar, this is getting interesting. So definitely want to pay attention to this. Really important. It's this area right here, this area. So if this reverses here, I'm going to be looking for a pullback to up thrust this high and test. And on the euro, it will look like a spring. So let's see. Yeah, I can't really tell about crude. Seems like a lot of range bound behavior. Although this move down is accelerating a bit, it was holding and then it did accelerate. So we'll see how what happens there. And then finally gold, just looking for pullback into the breakout areas. You can clearly see with the green bars over here. Breakout, breakout, whatever, let it just come back down. Right now it's tapping this high. And we have these two highs that, if it can come down a little bit more, it'll be ready to move. SPY, you had I'm not really crazy about this because it looks like it closed above prior three days, but I don't know, there's something not quite right about the size of the reversal. I don't know, but it's the same thing as the ES. Basically, test it, tap, reverse. Let's see if it goes lower or not. But yeah, I mean, I don't really see that much of a thrust. Here on the Qs, same thing. Not a lot of thrust. The SPY took out 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So down, up, down, boom, with a high end close. So the bullish aspect of it is that it had a high end close and took out multiple days. The lack of confidence, though, is coming from the fact that it wasn't a clean thrust. And also the same thing on the Qs. Qs is probably because they're weak. All right, let's see what else. MDY mid cap. So, I mean, nothing spectacular. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. It might be that it's going to thrust when it breaks out above the high, not at the reversal, but above the high. Maybe that's when it's going to thrust. But IWM and all these stuff, they're not really showing that thrust yet. And transports also. I mean, look at this transports. This is not, because the reason why I'm looking at this market is because it's leading. The transports is the one that's leading, and of course the industrials and transports, and none of them are thrusting. None. Now, is that because they're going to come back down a little bit? Or is it because they're going to break out above the high and that's when you'll see that thrust and that strength take out the high? I don't know, but we just have to just wait and see, and then see what opportunities present themselves. All right, so again, tech not that great. Healthcare again is taking out the highs. This strength is coming from, I think, Merck, Lilly, and Johnson Johnson. Basically I think Moderna as well. And materials hasn't broken out. Doesn't look like it's broken out. And industrials, again, it's not thrusting. So that gets me concerned. Here, energy is interesting because this is a spring. You see this? You see this? This is the spring of these two lows, and it had fall through, and it has thrust. So I think it's getting ready to take out this high. XLE, we'll see, but I mean, when it does that, because you know why? If you look at the prior wave here, it went up and it was a shortening of the thrust. Now you know that what I say is when you have markets that have a shortening of the thrust, that basically sets up the spring. Why? Because liquidity and all the breakout buyers are not there yet. So the pullback buyers are going to have to come into play, and there's stops underneath here. So I mean, this is what happens. You can think of it from many different perspectives: shortening of the thrust, or lack of momentum, or whatever. But that sets up the pullback to do the spring, and it did. It sprung right here. Look at the increased thrust. It's biggest in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. That range biggest, and high-end close followed by another high-end close. Thrust is decent and getting ready to take out the high. So watch the energies tomorrow. We could take it out. All right, so I don't really understand discretionary. I don't know, but there is quite some pressure over here, and this bar took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 highs, and now it's being tested. So it's the right place for it to be tested. And also, I think it looks like there's some effort here. Not really sure, but find out. Consumer staples. What is going on here? I don't know. It just looks weird. And financials again, led by Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan, right over here, right? So, but not thrusting yet. Now, the fact that it's not thrusting yet, that could mean many things. Again, it could mean that it's going to pull back and retest, or it could mean that as it comes to the breakout, buyers will step in and break above that high and thrust and break it out higher. So we'll see what happens. All right, so that's all, folks. So what do you take away from this? You take away that you're really close to these levels. On gold, very, very close. You might have one more bar. I would be watching the intraday to see how it's going to be climaxing, watching the volumes, because it's getting near that breakout area. So this is a very important area. Because I took out 1, 2 highs, had double thrust, 3 thrusts, taking out this high, this high, this high, and this high. So, and ES just looking for some type of spring action. You have overlapping bars, etc. Bitcoin, no comment. And the dollar breaking down is actually good for the stock market. All right, that's all, folks. Have a wonderful evening. Bye. Yeah, I almost forgot. Yeah, so there is one other thing, actually 2 other things I'm going to share. It's part of the lesson. So one sec. All right. So what I'm going to share is, I have times on this chart right here. I have some times on it, and what I'm going to show you is, the importance of when the market tests a support and resistance area that's backed by price and volume. What is the time? All right, what is the time? Is it the morning around the 8:30? Because if it is, you're adding an edge. You're adding a liquidity edge to your trading if your market that you want to trade is at support or resistance at near the open or at a time of a lot of liquidity. There is a definitive liquidity edge. If your market is at support in the morning, like around 8:30, if it's tapping that area, there is an edge. And now I'm going to prove that to you. All right, so we're going to take a look at these turning points, and these are not insignificant turning points. This is I think $3 brick. So one brick could be a lower time frame trend. Just one brick. All right, so keep that in mind. Now tell me, when it hit the low here, what time was it? It was 8:30, and look at the move. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So you see at 8:30 when your market is, I don't know if it was at a support level or not, but I guess it made a low. All right, now it rallies to an area. It's almost about resistance area. you know, what time is it? 8:30. You have that 8:30, the level, where is this? 8:33, right there, okay? Now, when it pulls back to the accumulation brick, it shows 14:59, right? Now, all you do is move over to the next bar, and what time is it? The next bar, if you could take a look at the top of the screen, it's 8:30. So you see the market pull back to the accumulation brick at what time? End of day, and then the next morning at 8:30, look at the move. So that's 3 times the market moved. I mean, over here is not exactly at the resistance level, but it's close, but it's not exactly there. This one is exactly at the level, support level, the accumulation brick level. So now I'm going to show you again. So again, this is the breakout brick. Here it's 12:04. The next brick is 9:19. Nothing special, you know. It's a little bit after 8:30. The next brick, 12:44, 12:42. We don't really see that 8:30, you know, blast off. It's just a spring, midday spring. That's fine. So now you have this breakout brick, and what time is the test of that breakout brick? 8:51. So again, just 20 minutes after 8:30, and look, boom. Now you make a high above this area, like a shortening of the thrust or a breakout or whatever. What time? 8:30. And then you have the reversal. Look at the move. Okay. It comes into this accumulation brick. What time? 9 o'clock. So it's typically that, you know, within 1 hour, like not more than that. So it sets up and gets ready to go. All right. So here again, what time? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Testing the support brick. Movement has completed. Okay, 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever. And bang, ready to go. Oh, my bad. It's actually 8:30. It's 11:04, and the reversal brick is on 8:30. There you go. Let's see the next one. Again, this brick forms at 8:30 and goes. And this reversal brick testing the accumulation breakdown. What time? 8:30. Look at the movement. Remember, one brick here is like an intraday trend. It's like at least 2 or 3 waves. All right, it goes up here. What time does it stop and get ready to reverse and pull back? 8:30. Right now, that, I mean, you could say that, hey, there's no level there, but I mean, when I've gone through it before and I explained this was the climax brick. So it's terminating the move at around 8:30 and gets the reversal. So again and again, the point that I'm trying to make is that one of the things you should look at is whether your market is at a support or resistance level at 8:30. It should be at a key level at 8:30. And within that 1 hour time frame between 8:30 and 9:30, there's a lot of there's some preparation for it to go. So this is why the morning times are so important. And as you can see, again, 8:30, 8:30, 8:30. That's 8:30 here, pull back here, 8:30, all the way pull back here, reversal, 8:30. You know, it's a no-brainer. I do. Shit. Anyway, long story short, that's the first part. Oh, stupid ass. Alright, I'm having problems here. Anyway, so next, let me just move on to another chart and just explain. Alright, the next thing to note is that very important also is the trigger. Now, what you're taught, you know, most books and courses is the trigger is the breakout, right? You trigger the breakout and the breakdown. What they don't tell you, or what you don't really realize, is that the same characteristics of the breakout is it's always around support and resistance, and this is why support and resistance is so important. You have a resistance. Where's the breakout? Above resistance, right? Now, here's the thing. When a support or resistance point is made, there is a change, meaning a change of strength. When a support point or pivot is made, you have demand overcoming supply. And when a resistance point is made, supply is overcoming demand. As that turn occurs, demand continues to show its strength. As it shows its strength, it has a bar most of the time which has the same quality or characteristics as a breakout bar in terms of price volume action. Again, the triggers are around support and resistance. Breakouts are breaking support and resistance. The other point here is that at support and resistance, when they are being formed, you will have a bar typically that has the same characteristics as a breakout or a breakdown in terms of its price volume behavior. I'll give you an example. I'll give you 3 examples. You see this here at the bottom, right? Look at the size. You see that? It has that price volume characteristics of expansion. Okay, that's one. You see this bar here on the reversal? Look at the size. Boom. Are they not similar, meaning the bars, are they not similar to the breakout bar in terms of size? Of course they are. You see this bar over here? Right? Look at the expansion. Right there. You see this bar over here? See that? You see this bar over here? Now, this actually is both a reversal and a breakout, but whatever, breakdown. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that the same characteristics of a breakout bar in terms of price and volume is found right after a pivot, right after a support turning point or a resistance turning point. You will have a bar with similar characteristics to that of a breakout. Why is that important? It is important because it allows for a lesser risk entry. The reason why you take that is because it has much less risk if you're buying right out of support than on the breakout of resistance. The distance between the support and resistance can be significant. All right, and that's why you need to pay attention to I just call it the reversal bar. I guess it's a reversal, right? It is better, in my opinion, to buy the reversal or sell reversal, or use that as a trigger instead of the breakout or breakdown bar, because of less risk, better entry, higher reward, and also, I mean, it's basically coming to an important area, and you already have that area in mind. Now, someone will say, what about, resistance? I had the breakout in mind. Okay, good for you. But that breakout can be a climax. The reversal is not a climax. It's the first bar coming out of support or first bar coming out of resistance. The chances of that being a climax is far less than the breakout being a false breakout and really a climax. It's the key point, and you want to look for those reversal bars because they make far better entry triggers. All right, that's all, folks. Take care.